Hey guys, how are you? I'm back. Today I want to show you how I blend my eyeshadows. I found a very good trick to step by step to be able to blend my shadows very fast, like super fast and easy with all my eyeshadow palettes. It doesn't matter the eyeshadow palette, it could be a high-end brand or just drugstore brand. It's very easy to blend these shadows with these brushes. So I'm going to show you the brushes. I use 5 brushes every time I'm going to do my makeup. It's very easy to blend any eyeshadow. It doesn't matter the eyeshadow, it doesn't matter. There's so many brushes in the market, like there's so many online, Amazon, by Morphe, by MAC, Sigma brushes, Sephora brushes. I mean, there's so many out there. But the key to be able to blend your shadow is like you need very good brushes. Okay, doesn't matter the brand, like I say. So one important thing that I have is like always getting a flat brush. It's very easy to apply the shadow on the eyelid with a flat brush. Or you can apply a shimmer too, or in a tierra, or the eye. That's good. You also need a brush like this. This one is by Sigma. By the way, the one that I showed you before is by MAC. This is the 239S. It's an amazing flat brush. You can even apply the brow bone shade, like a highlighted shade on your brow bone with this type of brush. Another brush that is very good is one like this. This one is by Sigma and this one is the E36. I love this type of brushes to smoke out my outer V. Sometimes to apply a little bit of deeper color like around my crease with this type of brush, especially if you have hooded eye. If you don't, you still can use this brush to apply the color on the lower lash line and on the crease, or even in the inner tear. I love this one by MAC. This one is the 217S. This is a blending brush and this one is great for the crease. If you have hooded or you don't have hooded eyes, it doesn't matter. This is a great brush to apply the crease shade. It blends anything and it blurs everything. In case still you end up with a little bit like gap in the edges of the shadow on your eyes, you always need a big blending brush. It doesn't matter you have hooded eyes. This is gonna just blend the edges, okay, or that shadow on your crease. So you can also, if you apply shadows underneath and you feel like it's very harsh, you can always go with this type of brush and kind of soft those edges and blend everything. It looks absolutely everything like a gradient effect. So I love this type of brushes. It doesn't matter the blending brush, but this is my favorite. This one is by MAC and it's the 224. MAC doesn't make this brush anymore. They made now the 224S, which is this one right here. And you can see this one is very old, so that's why it looks like that. This one is a little bit like more taper, but it's still the same thing. This is to kind of smoke out and blur like the crease shadow, so it looks everything very gradient. It's like very well blended because you don't want to be walking around with like shadows like cat, like cat lines around your eyes. You always need to make sure that everything is very well blended. The last brush is this one by MAC, which is my favorite. This is a pencil brush and the number is MAC 219S. I love this brush to apply the shadow in the inner tear to create some light. I like to create some light on my brow bone, so this brush is great for that. You can also apply some crease shadow over here. You can even apply the eyelid shade on the eyelid or on the lower lash line. You apply some shadow over there so it's tighter and you can smoke it out. So I love this brush for that. So today I'm going to be using my VCR Neutral Matte because this is part of my Project Pan video. And I really want to like hit pan in this palette so bad because I love this palette so much and I enjoy using it. So I don't want to finish it. I just want to like hit pan, because I've been using this palette already for maybe 2 years, 3 years. And I still didn't hit pan. And I know VCR eyeshadows, they consume so much product. It's crazy. It's like Natasha Denona or Pam McGrath. It consumes so much product, special VCR. I love it. It's such a great quality. But you can use a Morphe palette, any palette out there, but it's the same technique for every palette. It's the technique I use when I'm going to play my shadows. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to apply a transition shade. Always when you're going to blend your shadow, you always need to apply a transition shade So the transition is gonna help you to apply the next shadow on top, so your crease is already defined. So usually you pick a transition shade, a shadow that is a mid-tone shade and is closer to your skin tone. So I'm gonna pick this one and I'm gonna tap my brush kind of like this, and that's gonna get rid of the excess powder or excess eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna apply over here. I like to use these two and do the same thing. Sometimes I tap, sometimes I don't. I know this palette already for so long, so I'm so used to not tapping off the product in the brush. See, you can see right there that this is my transition shadow. Okay, you can see the difference now. So it's very important that every time you're gonna apply an eyeshadow, you always use primer or use concealer and say your concealer or say your primer. I usually don't set my primer. I love to use this one by NARS. This one is the Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I love to apply this one. And you just apply on the eyelid. You kind of blend it with your finger to warm up the primer or with a brush. And I like to set it. Sometimes I don't set it. Most of the time I don't set my primer. Some people don't set the primer, but that's up to you. Whatever works better for you. I feel like if I don't set it, my shadows kind of like glides better on the eyelid. But if I set it, then it's like you applying powder on top of powder, if that makes sense. Anyway, so you do this. You blend. You're gonna blend like wiper motion, like back and forth, you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Always make sure to take the brush and use it like in the tail, like rubbing the brush in the tail, if that makes sense. So you don't put too much pressure on the brush, because if you do that, like this for example, your shadow can get very hard and then hard to blend, and it's gonna cost you more to blend. So I always like use the brush in the tail, grab it like this, so I don't put too much like pressure. Okay, now I'm gonna take my blending brush. This is the 217 S by MAC, and I'm gonna use the same shadows. You can see that I pick a lot of product. I'm gonna tap off the excess and I'm gonna apply on my crease. My crease is between my, you know, in this area over here where I have that line, which is like the eyelid is over here and here's the brow bone. Here is the crease. When you touch that bone there, the bone right there, you can do the same thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, blending. And you just keep going doing this until you feel and you're happy that your shadow is already kind of like a grading, like it's very well blended. It's blur, like I said with the Sephora brushes. You can see right there. So now I'm gonna go with a deeper shadow. Okay, I'm going to take my Sigma Blending E36. I'm gonna take this shadow over here, and I'm gonna tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna go on my outer V. You just make like a V, kind of like this. You can also take the same shadow that is very dark. Usually like deeper shadows goes on the outer V over here. But if you feel like you want that deep shadow on your crease, you can also take a little bit, tap off the excess, and go to your crease. Make sure that here, whatever you did here before doesn't disappear. So don't take a brush like this. You like to apply the shadow, because then this dark shadow is gonna end up everywhere. So you just need a little bit with a small brush in your outer V and here on your crease, and then take the blending brush by MAC, the crease brush, and then you can go and blend that shadow on your crease, and you will continue having that gradient on your eye. And the outer V, you just blend in circle motion, kind of like this, blending for the inside, for the inside, for the inside. in circle motion. Then go with your big blending brush and soft the edges or absolutely everything you create before. You can see that. A flat brush, I like to apply the shadow on the lower lash line, that may say underneath. So I will go with a brush like this and apply a little bit of this color over here. I will tap off the excess and I will go and apply that dark shadow over here. Kind of like this. And you can blend with the same flat brush, or you can use your blending brush and just smoke it out. It depends on you, whatever you feel like, whatever you like. You can see that. With a big blending brush, you just blend that. This is an amazing brush because it blends everything, it blurs everything. It makes sure that you don't end up with like harsh line, you know. With this type of brush, the pencil brush, I like to go with a highlighter color, kind of like this. And I like to apply over here to create some light in there. And you will say, oh, but that's too harsh. Yeah, you will take your blending brush and you will soft that. See? You will soft that. And you can even soften more if you keep blending. It will keep disappearing, blend until it disappear. Kind of like this. I usually like also to use this type of pencil brushes to apply the highlight color in my brow bone. Kind of like this. And you can go again with a blending brush and soft that brow bone color, blending with your blending brush. This one is a 224 by MAC. And you can see there how beautiful that looks. I just basically need mascara and that's it. I usually take also this type of flat brushes and I like to pick, like for example, any other shadow. It could be a darker shadow, it could be a shimmer, and apply it on the eyelid. Because here you can apply a shimmer, you can apply a dark shadow, whatever. But you always go from light or from a mid-tone color, okay, to dark, which is in the eyelid if you want like a smoky eye look or a shimmer eye look to create light in your eyelid. So I usually like to take a little bit of black shadow, just a little bit, and apply on my eyelid over here. Just a little bit. And then I go with my blending brush and blend around. It can be a shimmer, it could be any color you want. But me personal, I like shimmers or I like black shadows. Then I also can take my blending brush and blend. Brown over here. And apply like between the crease and the eyelid in your crease. And I take a little bit more of my brow bone shade, apply a little bit more light, see? In my blending brush, And you can see right there how I had like a beautiful smoky, like a very soft smoky. I can, for example, take that black shadow and also apply it on the lower lash line. So I will smoke it out with a blending brush. These brushes, I'm telling you, they're amazing. Especially this one is my favorite because whatever you get, you always blend and make sure that there's no like harsh line and everything looks very, very nice. Make sure to have a big blending brush and a middle side crease brush, which is basically, this is a crease side brush and this is just a big blending brush. You can see the sizes, they're a little bit, they're very different. They're very, very different. You can see right there. These ones are by MAC and they're my favorite. But you can use Sigma, you can use Morphe. I do have tons of Morphe brushes and I make sure to have my crease brush, my blending brush, my pencil brush, my flat brush to apply the like the shimmer or apply a dark shadow, you know, to apply the shadow on my lower lash line and stuff like that. It's very, very easy to blend shadows, believe me. It's very easy. You just need practice and that's it. And you can create any look. It doesn't matter the eyeshadow palette. It doesn't matter the shadow. It could be high-end, it could be drugstore. It doesn't matter. How long you do this technique, you can work with any eyeshadow palette. And that's like the best thing I learned when, because I took some seminars in a makeup school and I learned lots of stuff that I slowly I'm gonna be showing you like different techniques. So it's very easy. Because you see sometimes like girls when they're using like a colorful eyeshadow palette, for example, because this is a neutral palette. But if you use a colorful eyeshadow palette, it's the same technique. Then you take the flat brush and you apply the color. You can see them on YouTube and other videos. Other girls, they apply like the colorful shadow on the eyelid. And once they apply that colorful shadow on the eyelid, then they take a brush kind of like this, or like this, or maybe like this one too. I'm going to show you. Kind of like this one, and then they put another color on the top of the eyelid shade, and then another one over here, and then they use a brush like this one to kind of go in the brow bone and blend absolutely everything. And when they're applying the shadow, they're blending. You know, they're applying this shadow, they're blending. The other shadow, they're blending. The other, and they're blending. And then it's this beautiful grading, and they create all these beautiful, colorful eye looks, also on the lower lash line. And it's the same thing. You just make sure to be very gentle with the brush. Always take grabbing the brush by the end, the tail of the brush, not putting so much pressure on the brush, and always having a blending brush to be able to soft the edges and in the end soft everything. So everything is like a beautiful gradient. Anyway, I'm going to do my other eye quick. I'm going to apply some mascara and I'm going to be done. I'm going to do the same technique. I take this one over here. You blend, 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 blend. Like wiper motion back and forth, back and forth. Also, you can like do circle motion too. That also helps. Circle, circle, circle. In, circle, circle, circle. Out. See that? Take a little bit more. Your transition shade. That's the shadow. It's going to guide you through the rest of the eyeshadow process until you finish your look. I take this one now. I'm going to take my flat brush and I take this color over here. And use blender. My outer B. Could be this brush or it could be this one for the outer B, just very little. Just blend back and forth, back and forth. You can see that, how pretty, how beautiful. I'm gonna take my black shadow. I'm gonna apply on my eyelid. This is a very soft black. It can go very, very, very deep quick. Take my blending brush and soft those edges. Or you can use the big blending brush, because the other one was the crease brush. And he's so quick, I swear. Okay, take my pencil brush, my highlighter color, apply on my brow bone, on my inner tierra, and take my blending brush and soft the brow bone color and the inner tierra. And here is basically my smoky. You can see how easy, fast, quick that was. Only using these brushes. Amazing, amazing. I'm gonna have the name of the brushes in the description box. What brushes are. These ones are all by MAC, and this one is by Sigma. I do have, again, I have Morphe, I have all the brushes, Sephora. I mean, I do have a big selection of brushes, but these ones are my favorite. Like these, but in other brands, you know. I always pick the same thing, I just have them in different brands. So you can create the most amazing, stunning eye look, I'm telling you. Now I'm gonna apply just mascara. Just a little bit, because lately I've not been using false lashes. I do have makeup all over my hair. Very disturbing. You can use false lashes and you're good to go. For me personal, I'm being staying away from false lashes. I want to take a break from them. So you can see how beautiful that looks. And it's like very, very well blended. So it's the same technique with all the palettes I have. With every eyeshadow palette. It's very easy. You don't spend so much time. You just do it super quick and you can create the most amazing, stunning look. I hope this video helped you. I know there's tons of videos how to blend eyeshadow on YouTube. I just came today here to share a little bit of my knowledge about makeup, and I hope it works for you. If it can help you, that's nice. And if not, it's still, you know, the video is here to be able to help someone that need it. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Okay? Bye-bye.